Central Maine Power looks to give back to the community as often as they can. One opportunity for that effort is the Community Support Donation Program, and one local nonprofit striving to expand STEM education. I'll just give you this last part.
In Maine, they were selected.
This is who we are. This is exactly what our company is all about, is collaboration, team building, and working together to solve challenges.
STEM education has been buzzing all over Maine.
We want to make sure that every Mainer has that opportunity.
Central Maine Power selected the Challenger Learning Center for a community support donation of $10,000. The funding will contribute to the efforts of continuing STEM education, and some interns with CMP kicked off those efforts.
Summer interns that we have at Central Maine Power have come here to sort of exercise their STEM skills. Some of them have more of it than others, and some of their communication skills to build a solution mimicking what happened on the Challenger.
Oh, my lanyard.
Today is an awesome day. We're so lucky to have the summer interns from CMP, and they're running a mission just like students would here.
So right now the humidity is a little low, but everything else is okay.
It's Apollo 13 challenge. So just like the Apollo mission, they are challenged to solve a problem.
But the goal of the program and donation is to build confidence and communication skills in Maine students interested in STEM.
We want to have interns that are able to kind of critically think about those principles and then also be able to communicate about them.
Hibbert says this is not the first time CMP contributed to STEM expansion at the Challenger.
They have supported us, this community, the students that we serve. And a really neat thing is that a portion of this money goes into our scholarship fund. So schools that want to come, that need a little bit of help, maybe even full help, so they can do a Challenger program, this will help those students next school year be able to participate in the great things we have at Challenger.